Hey, it's your girl, your favorite paralegal, aka Cassandra Lynn, and welcome to Legal Doc Talk 24/7. Hope you guys are having an awesome day. So somebody last night dropped a question into my Mama Diddy lawsuit coverage in regards to Jennifer Williams's husband, Christian Gold. She was asking about a RICO lawsuit and if they were really married. So this video is dedicated to that subscriber who asked me about this lawsuit. Now, I don't watch much reality TV show, probably 0%. And I have no clue who this individual or who these individuals are. But I found out that Jennifer Williams is a basketball wife, and Christian Gold, she ended up, I think, marrying him, but in a different country. So everybody is really trying to not trying to, but they're side eyeing the marriage validity. So I can't really find any information. And usually marriage certificates, death certificates, all that is considered vital records. And so I would not be able to search and see that. Now, I tried to look to see if there is possibly a website that I could go on to see if they applied for a marriage certificate, but I need to look in that particular county. But what I did pull was the lawsuit so we could go over this. So more than 20 individuals filed a civil lawsuit against Christian Gold. From my research, I have seen that this man has been in and out of trouble. So why she married him? I don't know. I really don't know. But it is what it is. You can't yeah, that's a different story. But let's hop right on into this complaint with these 20 individuals cuz y'all they was not playing. So this lawsuit was filed on the 21st of February this year. Noheli Sedona, Sabersi Sedona, Alan Rodriguez Mendoza, Juan Sevilla, Jennifer Holiday, Alteria Ray, Tobias Ray, Clint Edward, Erika, or I said Erika, Erica Lachey, Jody Lyons, Jorge Arturo Vega Sandoval, Lakeithra Lockett, Lisa Smith, Mandy Montgomery, Shelley Lyons, Tananise Knox, Tulu Alula, or Alualu. Uh, Sorry for butchering that. Tamusha, Shuka Torres, Leah Gunter, Eduardo Vega. All of these people filed this complaint for damages against defendant Christian Gold. Sedino personally paid defendant $500 via Apple Pay. S. Sedino paid him $2,100 via Zelle and Apple Pay. Let's see. Alan Mendoza paid $4,150 via Zelle and Apple Pay. Juan paid $2,800 via Zelle and Cash App. Jennifer Holiday paid $7,600 via Cash App and Bitcoin. Ooh, Eltira Ray and Tobias Ray, the Rays, paid a total of $15,250 via Zelle, Cash App, Apple Pay, and PayPal. Baby, it's just like, oh my gosh. I, just like you have to use all of these apps just to send somebody money. Like, what? Edward, $8,000. via Apple Pay, Zelle, and in person with cash. Erica Lachey paid $7,332.74 via Cash App, PayPal, and Bitcoin. Jody paid $7,425 via Zelle. Sandoval paid $9,948.62 via Cash App, Apple Pay, Zelle, and Bitcoin. What was this man? I don't know nothing about these people, so I'm very curious as to uh what this was for. Now I pulled the complaint and I looked for addresses and other personal information so I can redact, but I have no clue why these people were sending this man this money. Lockett sent 1,500 via Cash App. Smith paid 15,000 via PayPal, Zelle, Bank of America, and credit cards. May Montgomery, I have no clue who that is. No relation to me. Paid defendant 1,000 via Zelle. Lyons paid $100 via Zelle. Knox paid $4,714.50 via Zelle. Tulu, they paid 3,600 via PayPal and Zelle. Shaw paid $4,395.50 via Zelle and PayPal. Torres paid, oh my gosh, $25,360 via Sway Markets, Zelle, and PayPal. Gunter personally paid 2,750 via Zelle and PayPal. Vega paid $300 via Zelle. This is at Cobb County. Let's see what the oh Lord. See, I knew it was an investment. I knew it. Defendant solicited funds from all the plaintiffs for the fact a defendant called an investment. As shown in the foregoing paragraphs, plaintiffs send defendants money, mostly via interstate wire, for what was supposedly an investment mechanism. When you start using things like Cash App, PayPal, Bitcoin, that's called what it says, interstate wire, which is up under. That's why he got charged with RICO, and we'll get into that. However, defendant had never had a legitimate investment opportunity. Defendant failed to take any actions required with accepting investments, including complying with any administrative or regulatory requirements. Because I'm curious as to what he said to them. Like, people, y'all have to stop. Y'all have to stop. Like, it does sound good, and people will try to persuade you. And I'm helping a pro se client right now, draft the paperwork. But I'm like, nobody could come to me and tell me, oh, we're gonna do this and this, and you don't have any paperwork, none of your stuff is authentic. But people don't realize, like, if it's a business, obviously it has to be registered in the state. Where your I need to see financials. I need to see a little bit more before I put my money into something. And a lot of people don't ask for that. Defendant ultimately ceased contact with the plaintiffs and never repaid them their initial investment, much less the amounts he promised to pay them. In total, defendant took and did not return a total of $120,430.86 in funds from plaintiff. At minimum, defendant fraudulently misrepresented the investments to the plaintiffs. More likely, defendant never invested plaintiff's money. Defendant is believed to have run a classic Ponzi scheme where he paid back early investors in part with funds from later investors. Defendant improperly took most of the money paid to him for himself. Defendant also failed to adequately account for the money he received from plaintiffs and others. Over 150 individuals are believed to have been damaged by plaintiffs' fraudulent enterprise and fraudulent actions. Only 21 people are in this particular lawsuit, but he scammed over 150 individuals. It's about to get worse from here. This lawsuit initiated something, and I'm sure more individuals are going to come and they're going to also file their lawsuits. Actual fraud. Defendant set up and operated a scheme to prey on plaintiffs and other individuals around the country. Defendant represented he was operating a legitimate investment opportunity. However, defendant was never operating a legitimate investment opportunity. Instead, defendant was operating a Ponzi scheme, taking money from new investors to pay old investors. Defendant acted willfully and with scientia in the making such false representations through words or actions to plaintiff and third parties. Defendant intended to induce plaintiffs to act, including by getting plaintiffs to pay defendant amounts in excess of $120,430.86. Defendant also intended to induce plaintiffs to refrain from acting, including by withholding materially important and accurate information. Plaintiffs justifiably relied on defendants' misrepresentations or concealment of material facts. Plaintiffs are entitled to rescind any alleged contract and seek damages. Plaintiffs have been damaged because of defendants' fraud in an amount not less than 120,000 $430.86 plus ongoing interest. So the reason why they're saying not less, now the 120,000, this number here is what is added amongst the 21 people in this lawsuit. However, it is more because they said that there's 150 more people who have been damaged by this scheme. This man is in trouble. And if he is married to Miss Basketball Wife and she makes a bag, her bag is about to run empty. Not unless this happened before they was married, but we shall see. Plaintiffs are also entitled to their attorney fees and costs because fraud is an intentional tort. Defendant's actions show willful misconduct, malice, fraud, wantonness, oppression, or that entire want of care that would raise the presumption of conscious indifference to consequences, and punitive damage should be awarded against them in favor of plaintiff to punish, penalize, and deter such conduct. Constructive fraud. Defendant committed one of more acts of omissions or commission. Let's see. Da, 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 da. Defendant's actions were contrary to legal or equitable duty, trust, or confidence justly reposed. His actions were contrary to good conscience. They have been damaged in an amount not less than that 120K plus the ongoing interest. All right, still saying that they are entitled to attorney's fees and costs up under this. So he's getting hit with fraud. He's getting hit with constructive fraud. Count three, money had and received. Plaintiffs had title to in the right of possession of the total payments extracted. Defendant is in actual possession of the total payments extracted. Defendant has refused to return the total payments extracted to the plaintiffs. They have damage in the amount of that. So this is pretty much now, even though they sent it to him, I'm pretty sure that money's gone. That money is gone. That money gone. He gonna be owing. Wait a minute. How you go from count 3 to count 10? Somebody didn't change their whatchamacallit. Georgia Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act. Let's see. Defendant committed, attempted to commit, aided and abetted, solicited, or engaged in at least two interrelated predicate incidents and or acts of racketeering activity in furtherance of one or more incidents, schemes, or transactions that had the same or similar intent, results, accomplices, victims, or methods of commission, or are otherwise interrelated by distinguishing characteristics and are not isolated incidents that proximately cause injury to plaintiffs. The incidents or acts of racketeering activity that form the pattern of racketeering activity engaged in by the defendant occurred within the relevant time period and include mail in or wire fraud, among others. The acts of racketeering extended over a substantial period of time and were sufficiently continuous to form a pattern of racketeering activity. So when it comes to the mail and wire fraud, let me see. Defendant used an interstate telephone call, electronic communication, and or U.S. mail in furtherance of the scheme and in the course of defrauding plaintiffs of the total amount. So meaning that he called them on the phone and he basically was spitting his game in order to get them to pay him that investment money. One example, defendants refused to give plaintiffs reports on all amounts paid to defendant, and we know that at least some or all of those funds were misappropriated. Defendant did so with the intent to defraud. It was reasonable foreseeable that an interstate telephone call, electronic communication, and or US mail would be used in the defendant's scheme. Interrelationship between the acts of racketeering activity. The acts of racketeering activity committed by defendant are interrelated and not isolated incidents, and that they all involve numerous transactions or purported transactions and involve the same or similar intents, the same or similar results, the same or similar victims, namely plaintiffs, the same or similar methods of commission, the same or similar benefits to defendant, and the same or similar efforts to conceal defendant's misconduct. The incidents or acts of racketeering activity committed by defendant have the same or similar intents in that they sought to obtain property, including but not limited to the total payments extracted for defendant through illegal means. The incident or acts of racketeering activity committed by the defendant have the same or similar results, namely harm to plaintiffs and cash for defendant. The incidents or acts of racketeering activity committed by the defendant have the same or similar victims, specifically including plaintiffs who have been victimized by defendant's conspiracy. So meaning I don't know the group of people that he is going after, but whoever he's going after, it is that group of people that he feels he can persuade to buy into his little scheme by telling them what they want to hear, by telling them, okay, if you do this, you're going to get this amount of investment. And it's crazy because like the individual I tell you I'm currently assisting, he this is probably the third time that he has been involved. And you have to watch because when you have money, people will go after that. And then people will go after people who don't have money and make something sounds good so that they might give their last in order to get a bigger return. They might spend their mortgage or their rent or their car payment money just to get rich. I wonder what he told them the investment return was, because no way. The incidents of racketeering activity committed by the defendant have the same or similar methods of commission. Defendants use numerous and as yet unknown entities to perpetuate this RICO enterprise. Injuries to the plaintiff proximately caused by defendant's RICO violations. The conduct of the defendant set forth herein directly plaintiffs and their injuries flow directly and proximately from defendant's incidents or acts of racketeering activity, which constitute part of the pattern of racketeering activity. Defendant's actions have caused plaintiffs damages in an amount not less than 120K plus. Plaintiffs have been injured by reason, so according to the Georgia code, the statute, he has violated that by taking money from them for a make believe investment. So, therefore, they are going to be entitled to recovery 3 times the actual damages sustained. So if I sent you 25K, times that by 3 plus more. Pursuant to that statute, plaintiffs are entitled to recover their attorney's fees in a trial in appellate courts and their costs of investigation and litigation reasonably incurred. So each of those plaintiffs pray respectfully that process be issued and properly served on upon defendant. This was filed on the 21st. I'm pretty sure if we done caught wind of it, he done caught wind of it. It's only a matter of time of him actually getting a copy of this lawsuit. Defendant to be compelled to answer these allegations. So once he gets served, he needs to file an answer within a certain amount of time. I don't know what Georgia, I don't know if it's 20 days, 30 days, 14 days, whichever days he has, he needs to make sure that he gets that answer in, because if he doesn't, they will end up doing a default judgment. They want the court to enter a judgment in favor of the plaintiffs on all of the plaintiffs' claims. They want the court to award plaintiffs compensatory damages against a defendant in the amount not less than $120,430.86 plus interest. They also want the court to award plaintiffs treble damages for defendants' violations of the Georgia RICO Act. They're asking for punitive damages to be entered against defendant and the total amount to be determined at trial. They're asking for attorney fees and costs and whatever relief that the court deems just and proper. And that's it. So very interesting. Like, I don't know what's going on. It must be RICO season, because what? There are too many cases involving people doing some fraudulent stuff, and it's coming to a head. So I am going to keep up with this case. It's very, very interesting. I want to know the thoughts of Jennifer Williams in regards to this, because I'm like, okay, did you not know this person? Because looking at his record, he does not have a clean record at all. So why are you with him? Hey, if y'all know, put it in the comments below, but definitely let me know what y'all think about this in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until then, you all be blessed and have a great, productive day. Bye.